In a bustling Lagos neighborhood filled with the chatter of children and the clinking of pots from shared kitchens, there lived a young boy named Ebuka. He was 21 years old, dark-skinned, with a slim build and an ever-present, bright smile. He had traveled from his remote village to serve under Mr. Chaik, a respected carpenter known for his skill and integrity. Ebuka was more than just an apprentice, he was a gem. Jovial, hardworking, and quick to learn, he quickly won the admiration of his master, his neighbors, and even the children in the compound. Every evening after work, Ebuka would entertain everyone with stories from his village, making the entire yard echo with laughter. One day, a new family moved into the compound, a widow named Mama Ada and her 5 children, 4 boisterous boys and a cheerful 9-year-old daughter, Ada. They had come from a nearby village after the sudden death of Mama Ada's husband, leaving her to raise the children alone. Determined to provide for her family, Mama Ada started a small food business, selling rice, beans, and fried plantains at the local market. Her eldest son, Chigazi, who was 17 years old, sometimes helped with errands, but the burden of raising the family fell mostly on Mama Ada. She would leave early in the morning and return late at night, often too exhausted to spend time with her children. Despite her hard work, life in the city was tough, and her children often had to fend for themselves. In the evenings, when Mama Ada was still at the market, Ebuka would often see Ada wandering around the compound, her dusty feet and curious eyes taking in everything. She was a bright and playful girl, but her mother's absence left her longing for attention. Ebuka, who had a soft spot for people around him, began to look out for her. At first, he would call her over when he noticed her struggling with her homework. "Ada, come sit here," he would say, patting the wooden bench in front of his room. "Let me show you how to do this." Before long, Ada was spending more time with Ebuka than with her own siblings. He taught her how to play simple games, helped her braid her hair when her mother was too busy, and even shared his meals with her when she was hungry. The other tenants began to notice. "This Ebuka is not just a good boy, he has a heart of gold," said one of the older women in the compound. One evening, after returning from the market, Mama Ada sat outside her room, too tired to speak. As she looked around the compound, she saw Ada sitting beside Ebuka, laughing heartily as he animatedly recounted a story about a mischievous goat in his village. The sight warmed Mama Ada's heart. She had been worried about her children since moving to the city, but seeing Ebuka's care for Ada brought her comfort. The next day, she called him aside. "Ebuka," she began, her voice soft but firm, "I don't have many people I can rely on here. I see how you look after Ada. Please, help me keep an eye on her. She needs someone who cares." Ebuka nodded, touched by her words. "Don't worry, Mama Ada. I will look after her as if she were my own sister." A few months later, Ada was returning from school when she was accosted by a group of older boys from a nearby street. They taunted her, pulling at her school bag and trying to snatch her school bag. Ada screamed, and the commotion reached Ebuka's ears as he walked in Mr. Chaik's workshop nearby. Without a second thought, Ebuka ran to the scene. "Leave her alone," he shouted, positioning himself between Ada and the bullies. Though outnumbered, his courage and determination were unwavering. The boys, intimidated by his boldness, eventually backed off and ran away. When Ada's brothers heard what had happened, they rushed to thank Ebuka. Mama Ada, upon hearing the story, was filled with gratitude. "Ebuka, you are truly a blessing to my family," she said, her eyes brimming with tears. Unknown to them, there is something hiding about Ebuka. Ebuka started calling Ada my wife, especially when she is alone. Time passed. He started calling her my wife in front of everyone, making Ada to be shy each time she heard such a name. Everyone in the street sees him as a good boy. One day, Ada comes to her mother while her mother is busy washing clothes. Mama, I want to tell you something. What could that be? Her mother asked. I don't like how Ebuka used to call me his wife. I think I'm still young for that. He always called me his wife, in front of people, and I don't feel good about it. But her mother laughed it off and said jokingly, don't you like Ebuka? Don't you like how he used to help us? Mother, that's not what I am saying, Ada replied. That he is calling you his wife doesn't mean that you are his wife or he is going to marry you. Please don't think so much about it, my daughter, her mom said. Ada, I must be going to our restaurant, but I am getting late. Take good care of yourself, she said while she left. Ada nodded her head. One day, Mama Ada was cooking at his restaurant while she looked outside and saw Ebuka. Ebuka came closer and greeted him. Ebuka, how are you? Mama Ada said. I am doing good, Mama, Ebuka replied. Since you are going towards Ada's school, please can you help me to pick her up? Mama request. You know how busy the express road used to be in the evening. Yes, Mama, you are right. Don't worry, I will help you to pick her up. Ebuka left for Ada's school, and he picked her up. But when they are walking, Ebuka asked Ada if she wanted ice cream since the weather is very hot. But Ada rejected it. Well, one day I will marry you and you will be my wife, Ebuka said while smiling. I don't want to be your wife, and I don't want to be anybody's wife, Ada fumes in anger. Okay, you don't need to be angry, just let's go and get some ice cream, Ebuka said. No, I don't want to, let's go home, Ada said. One evening, Ada is the only one in the house. After doing her chores, her mother told her to dot. She decided to have some sleep. While she was sleeping, there was a knock on the door. Ada struggles to move her body out of the bed. She opened the door. She saw Ebuka smiling. Ebuka has some fruits he wants to give Ada. But Ada is not interested in the fruit. I hope all is well this one. You are at my door, nobody is at home. Maybe you should come later, Ada said while trying to close the door. But Ebuka uses his leg to wedge the door, making it difficult for Ada to succeed in closing the door. When Ada is tired of struggling, Ebuka forced himself in the house. He sat down in the small chair. He requested Ada to come and join him. Ada refuses. He drags Ada and he forces her to sit on his lap. When Ada sat on his lap, he touched her and told Ada, "Do you know you are so beautiful?" Ada had never heard of such words. Nobody has ever said such a word to her, not even her own family. So she took it as a compliment, but she told Ebuka, "You need to stop the way you touch me, I don't like it. I don't feel good about the touch, please." Trying to move away from Ebuka. But Ebuka overpowers Ada's strength, making Ada to let him do whatever he wants to do. Ada was in her own world when her mother came. "Ada, I hope you are okay," her mother asked, touching her forehead. "Yes, I am okay," Ada replied coldly. "I hope you have eaten." Her mother asked again. "No, Mama is not feeling hungry." "What do you mean you are not feeling? Try and eat," her mother said while going into her room. Ebuka continues to come to Mama Ada's house, especially when Ada is alone, touching Ada and satisfying his urge as a young boy he is. Ada from her own side, letting Ebuka to have his way anytime he came to see her, buying things for her. Day after day, Ada started losing confidence in herself, lack of concentration in her studies. And again she hardly talked to her classmates or played with them. She started coming to school very late, although she hardly comes to her mommy shop. Her teacher noticed all this and decided to call the attention of Ada's mother, who is always busy in her food business. Mama Ada did not come when her daughter's teacher called because of her tight schedule at her restaurant. Her teacher keeps on reminding Ada to bring her mother while coming to school. She will be chased out of school if her mother does not follow her tomorrow to school. Her teacher threatened her. Ada came to her mother's restaurant. She saw her mother serving people, and her brothers dishing out food for their customers. After greeting her mother, immediately her mother asked her why she came here, after telling her not to come here, so that none of her male customers will harass her or make fun of her. Go home now, it's for your own good and mine too. Her mother begged. Mother, my teacher will chase me out of school if you don't come with me to school tomorrow. Ada said. But you have told me that several times, and I told you that whenever I have time I will come to your school. Is there anything serious? Did you do anything? Her mother asked. No, mother. It would be better if you come to my school tomorrow. Fine. I will come to your school tomorrow, her mother said. Not just come. But you will follow me to my school tomorrow, Ada replied. Okay, fine. I will follow you to your school tomorrow, her mother said. Are you happy now? Her mother asked. Yes. Mother is okay. You didn't reply to the question I asked her mother. Pressurized. Ada gave her a cold smile and left. Tomorrow morning, Mama Ada woke up early and prepared some food she wanted to sell. When everything is set from her own side, she waited Ada to prepare for school. Both of them set off. They arrived too early, which surprised all the teachers. Ada, so you can come early? Her teacher asked, leaving Ada's mother confused. But she didn't talk, rather she decided to keep quiet. Ada's teacher offered her a seat. Both of them were far from the people so that they wouldn't hear their conversations. Ada's mother is still worried. Then she asked again, please tell me anything that happened. Yes, something has been happening at your back which you are not aware of. What could that be? Ada's mother asked. It's about your daughter Ada. Ada's teacher said. What happened to my daughter? Ada's mother asked, folding her arms. I think Ada is going through emotional breakdown. She has changed so much. She doesn't like to associate with her classmates. She is always in her own thoughts. Don't talk again. Ada I know talks a lot. But now she barely talks. Her academics are very poor. Although I try to talk to her, to have a one-on-one chat with her. But she refuses to open up. I have tried many times to find what could be the problem, but she is not giving me a chance for discussion. That's why I called you. Ada's teacher said. Ada's mother was quiet for a while and she sighed heavily. What do you want me to do? She asked, confused. You need to talk to her, maybe she might tell you what could be bothering her. You are right, Ada's mother said. To tell you the truth, I noticed all this cold behavior from my daughter, but because of my business, I hardly have time to have a conversation with, but I will try to do so. Ada's teacher nodded her head in agreement with what she said. Because of the issue at hand, Ada's mother hurried home, leaving her business with his grown-up sons. She came and saw Ada studying. Both of them greeted each other and her mother gave her cake she bought on her way home. Mother, you are home early, I hope all is well. Ada asked. I want to spend some quality time with you, her mother said, coming closer to her. Ada smiles while opening the cake nylon. Her mother came closer to her and asked her something. My daughter, is there anything that is bothering you that you would like to share with me? Ada looked at her. No, Mama. Everything is fine, you don't have to be worried about me. I am okay. Ada said. You know, you are my only daughter and I love you so much. If anything happened to you, I don't think I can bear it. Her mother said. Mama, you don't have to worry about me, Ada said. Why won't I not worry about you? You are my only daughter. Do I have any other daughter? Her mother asked. Mother, nothing is going to happen to me or you, Ada said. All right, since you say so, I will let you be. Ada's mother senses something when she is having a conversation with her daughter. She thought, something is definitely wrong, I can't point my finger at it, but I know something is wrong and it is my duty to find what is bothering my sweet daughter. Days passed. In the afternoon Mama Ada was cooking in her restaurant. She came outside to take some water, when she saw Ebuka walking very fast. Days passed. In the afternoon Mama Ada was cooking in her restaurant. She came outside to take some water, when she saw Ebuka walking very fast. Ebuka passed her quickly without even greeting Mama Ada. What could be so urgent? That makes Ebuka not to greet me. I hope all is well. Some minutes later, Mama Ada decided to go home. She called her first son Judea to handle everything till she came back. Mama, I hope all is well. Judea asked. Yes, all is well. Her mother replied. Hurry to go home. When she reached home, she heard her daughter's voice begging Ebuka to stop doing what he was doing. Her mother stood frozen. When she get herself, she opened the door fast and saw Ebuka trying to harass her daughter. She pounced on Ebuka and started beating and kicking him all over his body. Ebuka tried to defend himself. When he got the chance, he fled from Mama Ada's house. Mama Ada saw her daughter crying on the floor and she came closer and hugged her. Why didn't you tell me? Don't you trust your own mother? Do you know I can fight the whole world for you? Do you know how much I love you? Tears rolled down from Mama Ada's eyes. I am sorry Mama, I wanted to tell you but I see so much trust you had for Ebuka. I am sorry my daughter, I failed you. I should have listened to you. Because of the hardship we are facing in the family. I gave out my precious egg to the vulture to feed on. I promise you, that no matter the hardship I have in our family, I will never neglect you. Ada's mother said. But you have to promise me one thing. Ada's mother said. What is that Mama? Ada asked. Promise me that you won't hide anything from me, promise me that you will return to your old self because your mother is always by your side. Her mother said. I promise, Ada replied. You can come to our shop whenever you feel lonely and bored at home. She said as she hugged her daughter so tight. Months later, Ada became cheerful and bold as always. Coming to her mother's shop happily helped her in anything. As for Ebuka, he ran to his village fearing that Mama Ada might have told the neighborhood what happened. Communication is a very vital key when it comes to situations like this. Being strict can never solve any problem. Rather it will scare your children away. And they will trust the person that can harm them in future. Apart from being a parent. Parents and guardians should learn how to protect their children from this ugly and bitter incident.